Hello and welcome to the international program. This month we're back on High Street to take a look at the old town hall, which is now home to Herzo Bar.
Right in the heart of Herzogenaurach's old town is this beautiful building that is so familiar to all of us. As its name, Altes Rathaus, or Old Town Hall, indicates, it was once the town hall. But over the centuries, it has served many functions. In this century, the building has mostly been home to the gastronomy business. We wondered what it is like to run a business in such a historic building, so we met Sami Alijaj, the owner of Herzo Bar.
Welcome, Sami. Why did you start with Herzo Bar and why Herzo?
A long time ago, like 97, 98, I had my experience in Herzo for a short time, and then I get back to Erlangen. So I knew already this location was a gastronomy. And end of 2011, 2012, I was looking for my own business. So it was calling me.
Okay. So how did you get started in the gastronomy business?
I came in Germany with 15 years, and that was my first job. They put me in the kitchen. Really, my first job, what I done was peeling potatoes. In the first 2 years, I didn't have another choice because so I just took the first job, what I get, and it's already 35 years. Wow. Seriously, I never think to change another business. I get to know more about this business. I find passion to work with the clients directly, to make them happy because they come for food, for drinks, they come to enjoy a good time. And so this is what I really love, to make them happy for even for a moment.
What kind of food or cuisine do you offer?
We always go in seasonally, and we have Mediterranean food like tarts, steaks, pasta, salads. Everyone will find something. We're open Monday to Saturday, 5 p.m. Open-end.
Open-ended, very good. So we've also heard that you are a very good cocktail maker. You've been in a lot of competitions and you have won awards. So what's your favorite cocktail?
I won more than one prizes, awards, but of course it's one special what I love most because when I won this drink 2006 was pushing me to make my career and to love it more and to get more passion. I would like to serve you that drink.
Why not? I'd love to try it.
Okay, but everything is soft. Mm-hmm. It's type of medium sweet, so of course more. So this is my second award when I won. I won the first place in Bavarian Championship and also in the German Championship.
Wow.
A great drink. I hope you enjoy it.
It's quite good. What's it called? The
Rubinho.
It's quite sweet, which I like.
It's a special drink. It's not so hard. It's soft. It's medium sweet and get some very interesting ingredients. You can enjoy it at any time. Pre-dinner, after dinner, so this is it.
Do you have private rooms that people can book for events and such?
Yes, we have. We have a room for 65 persons, a small room for around about 30 persons, and we have the Kamin room, which is a special room, so for meetings, special events, it's around about 15 persons. And it's possible to rent completely the business, so it's a private party, upstairs, downstairs, it's also possible.
Do you also organize special events at Herzo Bar?
Yes, we do. After Herzo Kerva, after Altstadt, we have after party. And we do like once monthly DJ, dancing, music. And the next one is on 13 December. Should be a DJ, also open-end, and hopefully will get successful.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Sounds good. And what are the challenges of running a gastronomy business in Herzo, which is, let's say, not a very big town?
Seriously, it's every day it's a challenge in this small city. Sometimes we have good business when the big companies, they have their meetings, their business, but can be also very quiet. And it's a challenge every day to get the business we need.
How do you see the future for Herzo Bar in Herzogenaurach? Does it look promising?
I'm 13 years already here, and we had hard times. Of course, we had good times, and I try to just always be positive and hope good times are coming, better times than now.
So Herzo Bar is located in a historical building, as we all know, and it's a landmark in Herzogenaurach. Does that make it easier or difficult for you to run the business?
It's both. both. It's very famous. It's in the center of Herzogenaurach. It's a sign of the city, but we have to take care. We have upstairs special windows. We cannot change it, and a special painting well shows the history of Herzogenaurach and also the building. So all this to take care of can be also difficult. A lot of costs for this, and small kitchen. It's a big building, but not enough place sometimes. Yeah, it's you have both positive and a little bit negative.
That was an interesting insight into the running of Herzo Bar. But we also wanted to know more about the history of the building, and the perfect source for that is, of course, Julie Kaler.
So behind me we have the old town hall, and it was built originally in 1407 as a market hall, which was a type of vaulted building with open sides, and it had corridors inside with market stands. So how did it come about? Well, in the early 1300s, Herzogenaurach got town privileges, and the butchers and the bakers who lived here in the high street were allowed to sell their wares. And King Ruprecht in 1409 allowed the town to have 2 market days per week. But the bishop was the person who really had the authority within the town. And the administration and the bishop decided on punishments and could collect taxes and also a cubit fee for using the weights and measurements and setting up a stand within the market hall. So not only did the butchers and bakers and other craftsmen benefit from holding market days, but the town itself. But the citizens who lived here, especially the farmer citizens who worked very, very hard, they also wanted rights within the town. They were the ones who contributed quite a lot to the economy here. So the craftsmen and the tradesmen who were in associations called guilds voted somebody in to represent them. And he was the master of the citizens, the Bürgermeister, the first mayor. And he had a group of 14 men who advised him and who helped him, and they formed the very first council. And on the east side of the building there was an external staircase that went up to a floor where we had the council offices and a council chamber. So in medieval times the market hall was open downstairs and the council offices on the first floor of the building. Now over the years, of course, the town hall has been redeveloped and changed quite a lot. And in 1522, they added a small bell tower. And somebody rang the bell every hour. There was a sundial on the building, but at that time, no mechanical clock. So this was one way of letting people know what the time was. Also, if a punishment was dealt out to somebody and they were taken to the gallows hill or to some Kopfvasen to be hanged, the bells would ring out so that the citizens could accompany them and watch what was happening. And also with some of the punishments dealt out, people would be put into stocks at the marketplace and people could come and throw tomatoes and cabbages at these people who had committed a crime. If there were any special events on the market square, the bell would also be rung so that people could come and see what was going on. So the market square was a very social part of the town. But what was quite interesting about this town hall was that the main entrance was not on the side of the market square. It was on the south side of the building. And in the attic of the building, they stored grain and tobacco, which was grown all around the area around Herzogenaurach at that time. And the tobacco could be hung up to dry quite safely in the old town hall. And at one time, the cloth makers could display all their cloths in the council chambers for people to come and admire. Later on, in 1709, they decided they would put 4 big gated doorways on each side of the building so that horses and carriages couldn't just drive through as they could before. But the first major changes were later on in the 1700s. The roof was becoming very insecure and it looked like the gables were going to fall into the high street. There was a room where they kept the arsenal. There were also other things that needed to be more protected. So they decided to enclose the building in stone, added an extra floor to it and put a new roof on. It was also not fashionable to have timber framing. So the timber framing was plastered over and the ground floor was painted in a stone colour, and they changed the building completely. And in the 1800s, on the south side of the building, they closed off the doorway. They added a weighbridge and made the main entrance on the east side of the building after they'd removed the external staircase. And in the 1900s, they uncovered the timber framing, which had been plastered over, so they again changed the building. The next big renovation really happened in the National Socialist times, so between 1939 and 1941. And that was the time when the building again was in disrepair, so they again changed the roof. They replaced the original bell tower with a much bigger turret-type tower. There was a small set of steps put in front of the south entrance, and the entrance was reopened. The outside of the building was also made more attractive. The timber framing, which had been uncovered, was also made more ornate. They changed the style back to the Franconian style, which suited the rest of the high street. The National Socialist Party wanted to make the building very representative and to tell the story of the town. The market square was the centre of life in Herzo, and this building really needed to represent what everything was about. So they added a plaque which documents the history of the town. There was a lot of decoration done to the building as well. On the first floor, 4 leaded glass windows, and altogether 20 paintings or pictures were made to show the whole development of the town from its origins right up until the 1940s. At the end of the war, 1945, the Americans came to Herzo, and of course a lot of the symbolism that had ordained the town hall at that time was removed. The lantern holders and some of the windows which had symbols of the National Socialist time were changed. If you look very carefully at the plaque, the last line has been chiselled out because that was a line that was dedicated to the time of National Socialism, and of course nobody wanted to read that anymore, so it was removed.
Since then, the only obvious change is this door in place of a window. Throughout the ages, this building, with its strategic location between the High Street and the Market Square, mainly served 2 functions, that of Market Hall and Administrative Centre. That's the reason it was built, and for centuries it fulfilled that need. But in the 19th century, traders living in the High Street were allowed to open specialized shops in their homes, and there was no longer a need for a market hall. The rooms were repurposed. Some were used as classrooms, and later in the mid-20th century by the town library and the police force. The police were here for about 14 years, but moved out in 1960 due to space constraints. In 1967, a large new town hall was built to house the town administration, and the police force moved back into what was now the old town hall. They remained here until 2003, when they moved to their current location. And for the first time in centuries, this building was completely empty. To bring life back into the building, the administration looked at various options. The gastronomy sector looked promising, and in 2005, a restaurant offering a fine dining experience opened here. It was successful for a time, but closed about 7 years later. That was an opportunity for Sammy, and today, and hopefully well into the future, we have Herzo Bar, a place to relax, unwind, and have fun.
Thank you for watching. We hope to see you next time. Goodbye.